Hello, welcome back to episode 2 of the Devil. We were taken to House Ikaraya, a well-known criminal organization, and we've basically been given a case to defend someone that we very intentionally framed. Yeah, we're gonna have to defend the guy that Morgan basically set up for the murder of at least the 4 Blue Bloods, but there's a strange 5th murder that is outside of our element that we don't know anything really about. So this is going to be a very interesting, I think this will be an interesting case, because we know how most of it happened. Now we gotta piece together how to prove him innocent without, I guess without pointing at ourselves. I have no idea how this is gonna really play out. This one's gonna be interesting. I guess it's very similar to how episode 0 was, but then again, we didn't know at the time that it was Morgan. Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna go. I think we're at the interrogation room, so we're gonna finally meet our mystery man from the beginning. I'm gonna try to get a few more recordings in of episode 2 before I go on vacation, because I will not be doing any recording for at least like 5 days. Obviously, I wasn't sure what would happen after I left that crime scene, and I wasn't sure what I'd find walking in here to speak to my client. I definitely wouldn't have bet that the next time I saw this man alive, he'd actually look worse. Oh, that's right, Sosuke Ikaraya. Did you not hear me? I said I'm your lawyer. Oh, I heard you. Just not interested in wasting my breath responding. I'm sorry, is there a misunderstanding here? Not at all. I understand exactly what you are. You and all your companions staring at me very intently. Is it Sarah? Yay! Sorry, I look down, my cat's like scratching at like my computer glass. She's so needy. I'm gonna have to leave them for like 5 days. It's gonna suck. Sarah, blink. You're embarrassing me in front of the Yakuza. Oh yeah, I guess that would be the right term. I keep saying criminal organization, but this is probably the better term for it. That too. It is like, what, 2068? It's a very dated word. You'd really prefer I call you an orca. I'd prefer you give up and leave. What are you talking? I'm sure they told you I've been softened up. But they'd broken me and I'd be ready to sign whatever you put in front of me. Sorry to disappoint you. The Hound of Ikaraya doesn't heal. Cool. Sosuke, I'm gonna repeat myself plainly. And slowly, because you clearly have multiple head injuries. I am not a lawyer, I am your lawyer. Ah. Right then, very good. Thank you for coming. I apologize if I spoke just now. I'd misspeak too if I'd lost as much blood as you. Morgan, Esquire, I'll be representing you from here on out. Sosuke, of House Ikaraya. Sarah, paralegal and bartender. You're very young to have 2 jobs. Or 10 bar. Well, it is only part-time. Ah, right. So tell us, Sosuke of House Ikaraya, what is your routine? You look very fit. My what? Are you asking about... You not have me on file? Sorry, which firm are you from? DDD? MPM? I'm in private practice. You mean you're not a mob lawyer? No, but please don't hold it against me. Everyone has to start the path to corruption somewhere. There's serious risk involved in representing a man with my background against charges like these. It's very sweet of you two. They say I killed a cop, miss. I realize I may look a sorry state at the moment, but I'm not falling as low that I'd sully the house's name by dragging a civilian into. Makoto thought differently. The young master? You've seen him. How is he? Where is he? Is he unharmed? He was sitting pretty atop the literal throne surrounded by armed guards last time I checked. Thank you for that. No one's told me anything, and if the young master has spoken on this matter, I won't go against his judgment. But I do hope you understand what you're getting into. I'm already in it, Sosuke. How well I understand what I'm in is something I think you'd be able to help with. Very well. What do you want to know? I guess let's get more about our client. So far, all I know about you is your first and last name. A very important last name. I take your meaning. And in truth, the first thing you should know is that I'm not worthy of it. Why? You disqualified due to pre-existing conditions? I was born Sasuke Hayakawa, fourth son of a distant branch family. The only reason I bear the name of Ikaraya is because I was adopted into the main house as an infant, in exchange for lifelong service to the main family. Sounds like a great deal. Lifelong? How did you serve the Ikaraya as an infant? There are various tax benefits if you have exactly 2 children. Don't be absurd. I'm what you would call a bodyguard. For the time I was able to work, I was trained to be of service to the house by protecting the air with my life. From the time you were able to walk, there are a lot of demands for toddler bodyguards. All that's ever been asking me is that I stand in the right place at the right time. You mean like in family photographs? Like in front of a blade. Even a child can manage that. The house is giving me everything I ever had and taught me everything I've ever known. What meager service I can offer in return means nothing compared to the debt I owe them. You view your relationship with your family as a transaction? It's not something so cold to girl, it's a matter of loyalty. Alright. So if you were standing before a judge and they asked your name and occupation, you would say, "My name is Sosuke Ikaraya and I'm an internal servant for a living." I would say my name is Sosuke Ikaraya and I work as a head of personal security for the Ikaraya Financial Group. And what does that entail exactly? I'm the young master's bodyguard, and I lead all his security teams. Nice to properly meet you. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. And I'm Sarah, paralegal and bartender, part-time. I love Sarah. Yes, I believe you already mentioned that. Seems like we were all doing it twice. Well, thank you for your paralegal services, Sarah. And here I had the impression you had no sense of humor. What do you mean? It seems in this particular instance, Adonai, it was you who misidentified his proper manners as being Glad we've all broken the ice. Taken captive. Makoto told me that this all started because you were taken captive yesterday. What happened? It was 2 p.m. The young master had just finished a meeting with a VIP in Crane Tower, floor 108. 2 p.m.? He wasn't in school? I'll ask you to refrain from mocking the young master in my presence. He's a child, anyone can see that. You've no idea the pressure that has been placed on him. Whatever my client wants. As I was saying, it was just after 2 p.m. Me and the rest of my team escorted him to the elevator along our planned exit route. But our lift suddenly stopped in between floors 61 and 62. That was when I made a mistake. I had a bad feeling that it'd best to get Makoto to the ground floor ASAP. So I forced the elevator open, crawled out, pulled him out after me. But just as he got out, the elevator started up again, separating us from the rest of the guard. It was a trap. 50-51. Saying wasn't safe either. If they could stop the elevator, it's not a stretch to think they couldn't drop it too. He just lost a coin flip when he decided to exit. Yes, Sarah, it was a trap. Floors 60 through 70 were undergoing heavy retrofitting. The other elevators weren't responding. Comms were jammed. I reviewed the entire building's blueprint beforehand. Not very useful information, obviously, for a floor undergoing renovations. But I knew there were. Oh God, I'm already losing it. It's only been like 10 minutes. Okay. I knew that there was a construction elevator we could get to on the other side of the tower. I had to act fast. There was no time to doubt myself, and I did something unforgivable. You left the kid. I picked him up over my shoulder. He is very dedicated. Oh, well, that sounds fun. House, forgive me. Everything the young master does for the sake of his name's dignity and I. Kids are tougher than you'd think. I think he'll get over it. So you escorted him to the service elevator. I take it that's when things... Yes, I'm sorry, but I only remember a few vague details about what happened next. I'll tell you what little I can. After I activated the lift, 2 assailants emerged from under a tarp doorway at me by 7 o'clock. One tall, one thin. Tall was around 190 centimeters, and his weight, I'd say 100 kilograms with the mods. Thin was maybe 175 centimeters, but slouched. Mods as well, but what I saw looked stripped down, so he couldn't have been heavier than 70 kilo. They had needle guns, slow to fire and slow to take effect. A memorable choice. Collar one shot first, struck his arm when he pulled the trigger. A bad habit usually favored by street slinger punks who are used to compensating for kickback of jailbroken zippers. He might as well have been aiming at the ceiling. Finn lines up his shot properly, laser sight dialed in on the young master's left trapezoid. I shifted to a horse rider stance and deflected the needle with my weapon. The left doors open behind me just as another shooter steps forward at my 3 o'clock. Or so I thought, but all they had was a laser pointer. Literally a cheap trick. But it worked. I heard a click from 8 o'clock, turned my neck, and feel a weight punch into my deltoid. A dullish kind of pain for an instant. I realize I'm already going numb. That's when I squeeze. Squeeze? Talking about his mods. That's how I've always described it. Others say they flex or pull or hold. I squeeze. Akita Type 2 external periodic booster. Some burst strength and pain-killing capabilities, but it's short. It's a reflex enhancer. Make 1 second feel like 15 in hindsight. It makes it feel like you run a marathon during those 15 seconds once the kickback gets you. But I digress. I moved. Got Makoto into the elevator and wrenched the doors shut myself, taking 3 more needlers to the back in the process. I remember saliva pooling on my lip and then cold concrete scratching my cheek. Right, Sasuke. So you were guarding Makoto, these men laid a trap, targeted him with tranks, failed. Then they take you instead. Yes, to my great shame. You were I had to figure out what this was for a second. You were outnumbered in ambush, but you still managed to protect Makoto. What's there to be ashamed of? That I didn't see it coming. You're saying this has happened before. Dozens of attempts in the past year, some headed off in In the early stages, some sidestepped entirely, and some stopped with force. I knew their tactics, and I knew our vulnerabilities. Yet still I failed. Sosuke, that is... not incorrect. I'll deny. Am I wrong? Shouldn't a bodyguard get at least one shot off before being taken down? Shot? What do you mean shot? You were not carrying a firearm. No, no one on the team had guns. How's that? None of us on the security team had firearms with us. But you're a gangster. I'm a head of personal security for the Ikaraya Financial Group. Walking onto an allied group's property armed to the teeth insults their hospitality and makes the house look insecure. Or worse, impotent. And I'm not a security expert, but I do think there's some gray areas between armed to the teeth and empty-handed. I mean, didn't you just say you deflected their attacks? I was not defenseless just because I wasn't carrying a gun. Oh. I had my sword. That was the sword that's at the crime scene. Oh. So lame. So cool. You walk around town with, what, a samurai sword? You just assume that it's a katana? Is it? Yes. It is a signifier of my position. Signifier? Signifier, that's probably better. It is a signifier in my position within the house and shows that I am acting as a representative of it. Is it ceremonial then? No, it is quite sharp. I can attest to that. Though it's probably in terrible condition by now, seeing how the city's policeman handled everything else they touch. Speaking of which, perhaps we should move on to the night's main event. They tried for Makoto, got you instead, and took you to the lower wards. Why? I've been wondering that myself. Aren't you essentially worthless? Sarah, you can't just fucking say that! As a hostage, she means. I know that. Thinking back, I was surprised myself to wake up at all, let alone in captivity. It seems they had questions they wanted to ask me. What do you remember? Whatever they used on me, I remember some things, but how much of it was real? What order it happened in? It's all... just say whatever comes to mind. It can be anything. Sights, smells, voices. There are no wrong answers. Why are you saying it like that? I love when they like change like the coloring and hues. It looks really nice. I'm just a little tired that everything doesn't look the same. Kind of brings out that cyberpunkiness to it. I was bound. My wrists bound above my head. Tied to something that smelled like iron and rattled like old iron. Falls beneath my feet, some kind of bathroom or decontamination area. Good guess. They asked me questions. I said things, loose lips like being drunk for the first time again. I'm confident that other than vulgarities, it was all incoherent. Because there were shocks, the taste of blood. I must have bit my tongue during the spasms. And there were beatings, of course. I wouldn't have guessed. I denied. You need corrective lenses? Sarcasm is just how I grieve a lost opportunity, Sarah. Lost opportunity? Yeah, it's a damn shame. From what I can see of it, a pretty face like yours would go a long way with the jury if it wasn't pulverized. Ridiculous. Is he blushing? I agree about his face on night, but I don't believe it is his only strong feat. Let us move on. Really, if that's the case. How did your captivity end? Do you recall escaping? I was blindfolded the entire time, but my ears weren't blocked so hard. There was a door that squeaked and whined, so I always knew when someone was coming or going. One voice asked questions, mostly. It was light. Another voice grunted when he hit me, heavy. Another voice came and went, and then eventually, there was talk. Through the door I heard they were all talking to someone else. A new voice? A lot of this is gonna hinge on if he recognizes Morgan or not. I think it's gonna play out that he won't, but I'm not gonna let go of the possibility that he's gonna be like, they're kind of familiar to me. Or that he secretly knows, but that one's less likely. Was it high-pitched or low? Loud or soft? Oh, I almost said like loft. Fucking. It doesn't matter. What's important is that it belonged to someone new. Someone besides you and the dead who was there last night. You know, someone... You know what? Oh wait, there was someone that showed up like really early that we haven't really seen. I have a feeling they're gonna play an important part into this case, because there's no way they just showed up and then nothing else. Did you make out any part of their conversation? No, not a word. There was a loud noise, gunshots, followed by shouting and ugly sounds. And then, a hollow pain in my skull as I lost consciousness again. When I next came to, I had something in my hand. In my hands. Something sharp. I didn't even think to ask what it was or where it came from. Just started working at the bindings, rushed and clumsy, poked myself in the process. I cut them loose, then took the gag out. The blindfold was so tight, I cut it rather than try and... Damn thing must have been acting as a bandage, because when I took it off, between the light and the pain, I thought that my head had split open. It took me a long time to stand up. Felt like I could lie on the cold, disgusting floor forever if I just... Something was poking me. Something tucked into my waistband. The gun. The gun. Imagine my surprise. Checked the safety, the chamber. Reflexively, but only saw 2 spent slugs. I was too tired to be confused, so I just walked out that squeaky door and into red. Just red. And then I was blinking at an IV, handcuffed to a stretcher in an ambulance, some cop reading me my rights, saying that I killed 5 people. The 5th one is gonna bug me for a while. No, wait, some judge or official said that later. When I woke up in the ambulance, all they said was that I was a cop killer. Emitting some strong language. I don't understand. You were held captive, interrogated, tortured. But then you woke up armed and were able to escape? The cops didn't ask me any questions. I wouldn't have answered it if they had. It's been nearly a full day and I'm just now saying it aloud for the first time. It truly sounds absurd. This is your world, Sasuke, not mine. Do you have any theories on what happened? Only 2 possibilities come to mind. In the first scenario, 1 or more of my captors wanted to kill me but needed an excuse to do so. So they let me escape. They give me a knife and an unloaded gun, then wait for me to stumble out so they could miss me and be done with it. But the plan doesn't work. Somehow, I limp out of that room and shoot. Cut, stab, kill them all. That'd be quite the feat given the condition you say you were in. It's a tale for the ages. But it's not possible. Why isn't it possible? If he had the motive and they were stupid enough to give him the opportunity, he was still lacking. Bullets. He had the knife, he had a gun, but bullets, probably not. In the brief I read, 2 of the pods were shot in death. Sure, you're highly qualified, Sasuke, but I doubt you could fire a gun without bullets. No, I cannot. As I said, the gun I woke up with had already fired both its shots. So if we tell the police that the gun wasn't loaded, would that clear Sasuke's name for 2 of the murders? There's no proof the gun was already empty by the time he got his hands on it. She's right. The gun was some kind of jailbroken mag rail. The only residue it'd leave behind is static. So long as my prints are on it, that's all the evidence they need to claim I fired it. How about that second possibility then? The second possibility is that somebody walked into that building, killed my captors, and then tried to frame me for it. I don't think that one seems likely. That sounds like lunacy. We've already eliminated the other possibility. Insane trumps impossible. Like it or not, this bad Samaritan theory is our best shot. What is it? Just surprised you believe me. You haven't even asked if I did it. I never ask. It helps that I can usually tell. Wise policy for the world you're stepping foot into. Not as if making any difference here, even if I don't know if I'm guilty. You were drugged and beaten. You're still injured even now. And we just reasoned that you couldn't have killed your captors without help. What makes you think you might still be guilty? Because I've killed before. A pale spark flickered at the back of my mind. My index fingers raises slightly, lips part. Was I expecting this? Stepping into the criminal underworld? Looking forward to it? The rare opportunity to speak frankly with someone else who's... You mean... Yes. I was in the military. Oh, she's like, another murderer? Okay. I've taken lives, many times. That doesn't make you a murderer. Soldiers are given orders. I've killed people, whether or not a superior asked me to doesn't change that fact. But soldiers... Are you a soldier, Sarah? No? So drop it. She's good at following orders. It can take years to acquire that skill. I imagine it comes easy for androids. Yes, I suppose that's... Wait, that's an android? Did you miss the glowing barcode? And ignored my self-introduction? Look, I'm tired. I thought those were highlights or something. You know what? I can see that being like fucking highlights. Did my hair catch your eye? You have discerning taste. You see, each strand is actually... Was there something you wanted to say, Sasuke? I've taken lives before, so I know how I feel afterwards. Then. And how do you feel right now? Heavy? Right now I feel... What is it? You remember something? Yes. After I stepped out that door, I said I saw red. But I do remember one other sensation. I remember the feeling of gripping my sword. That brief you read, it listed all the charges, all the cause of deaths. The 5th man, the cop they said I killed. How did he die? That is a good transitioning point, oh my goodness. Stabbed through the back with a sword, skewered like a piece of goddamn meat. Got the balls to ask us to carry him to a hospital? I don't think that's quite how I phrased that request. I've been paying close attention. Would you like me to play back what you said? Not right now, Sparky. Rhea's just doing her job. It's not like she's asking. Oh, save the lecture, gray hair. I like how that and just London goes across the top of the screen. Ray? Well, my hair isn't. It's graying, maybe. Guess I haven't made it clear. I've never liked you, Mark. Aw, you're breaking my... I hadn't noticed. Wait, was that... Was that... Bro, she was about to say breaking my heart, realized it was about to be like heartbreak, and she went... No! No! She does not want to be associated with that. It's so funny. I hadn't noticed. Never took you for a mob lawyer. Dude, I almost said it again. I almost said fucking mob lawyer. Whatever my client's associations might be. He's a cop killer. Yes, until proven guilty isn't a phrase I coined myself, detective. It's actually someone important. Don't worry about that. The proving won't take us long at all. You always take pride in rushing your investigations. We've all seen the same intake file by now. Yes? My client was in bad shape when he was arrested, but his wounds were treated in medical transport. Yet somehow, in between arriving at the station and his booking, all his rooms were reopened, and some of them had multiplied. Tell me if you can, great detective. How will we ever solve the mystery of the reappearing fractured skull? The client was being moved between floors. He struggled trying to escape. Then he fell down the stairs? Really? Was there a lawnmower waiting at the bottom? Look, we're all adults here. Let's just say it. Your coworkers kicked the shit out of him. What do you want me to do about it? I want you to uphold the law. For some reason, I thought you cared about that. A police badge isn't a time machine. By the time we took custody, he was already... She's right, Tiger. What's done is done. No, you've got a snowball's chance in hell of proving your client was assaulted while in police custody. You'll never get charges brought against the officer who did it. Try asking for something doable. Not giving away all my best tricks. The door in the face tactic is already fragile. I want him to see a doctor. Gotta be shitting me. That's a blooded KW in there with military grade mods. He's not leaving this building. But we could have a doctor brought here. Given the chance to take a hostage? It's not the 99 man, Reyes. Can't break his cuffs. Don't say 99 man. You don't know what it means. You're too old. I want to see what that means. And also get a save it real fast. Wait, what was that? 99 man. A hypothetical transhumanist condition of biotechnical superiority. The 99 man or 99 man or a 99 refers to a theoretical state of being in which a human has replaced as much of their body with cybernetic equivalents as possible, thereby becoming someone who is 99% machine and yet technically still a human. Okay. An international criminal organization known for extorting corporations through shipping ports. Okay, it's usually when you hear blue blood, I usually think, oh, like a police officer. But in this case, it is not. It is a mafia term. So keep that in mind. How about a medic who can't be taken hostage? A medical ad? Sure, great. Let's see if we can negotiate his premium lower while we're at it. Is that a refusal, Detective Reyes? Oh, I didn't say no, did I? Great. He also needs a protective detail. Lady, I swear to... Counselor. Protective details are comprised of off-duty cops. I don't think they'll have the outcome you're looking for. No. But if my client is left unattended one more night, he's likely to be declared unfit to stand trial. When he shows up to court with his head caved in. An outcome I genuinely believe you're not looking for either. You could keep him here. What, in the interrogation room? Counseling quarter. Table can't be moved, but if you slide the chairs out of the way, the floor's not exactly that hard. How do you even know that? Given what other lodgings he had in the last 24 hours, I don't think your client will mind. So if Detective Reyes and Detective London take shifts to keep watch... Now we're keeping watch? And it's the homicide department's counseling quarter. Think I'd give a shit what happens to that son of a bitch? You think I wouldn't walk in there myself and... You wouldn't. What? It's not in your nature. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Either have it, or you don't. Trust me, I've had the chance to take a swing at that son of a bitch. Yeah, you've already called him that. A piece of shit, a bastard, a killer. I got a text message. I bet it totally picked up the Navi noise. But like every other cop I've walked past to get in here, you have to call Sosuke an animal. So what? What the hell does that matter? The only thing that matters. I've got the outsider's perspective, so I know. Your average human can do anything to anyone, so long as they're not a person. Whatever, think what you want, creep. So as long as that's your only request, we should be able to. I need to get to the crime scene as soon as possible. Got to be. What, like tonight? She's not rushing more than anyone else, Sunshine. Everyone up the line has been raring to go on this, now that Sosuke's actually got a lawyer. Well, maybe if that son of a bitch hadn't clammed up all day, we wouldn't... She said it again. Whatever. Pick then, counselor. You can bully us into guard duty or escort duty, but we can't do both. I need both. We'll have to split up. But I can help with that. Or rather, Sarah can. I can? Of course you can. You can go treat Sosuke. I don't know, I'm not trained in... Oh, I love this bitch. She's pretending she doesn't remember being registered as my medical ad. That's right, for her lower back pain. Yes, I would never forget that unforgettable experience. But I've never done first aid before. Well, watch a tutorial first. Use lots of sanitizer. Just hand her some bandages and she'll get Sosuke looking good as new in no time. Then you can plop her in front of the door and even 20 crooked cops working together can get her to budge. That much is certainly accurate. I have a strong core, so if I focus and lower my center of gravity... Thanks for the sale pitch, but doesn't mean shit. The crime scene's in the lower wards. You think after what happened last night that any cop with a pulse would go down there without their partner? It's okay, Sunshine. I'll take her down there. Is everyone else in here huffing Nirvana? It's in blue blood territory. Blue blood territory outskirts, really. They lost the whole pod. They'll be swarming the place. Can't go down there without backup. Backup, huh? You know Mac from Contraband? Skinny guy? Kind of a perv? Yeah, he's skinny. Look, he's got crime scene analysis sweeps going over that place with a fine comb right about now. drones, probes to work. They'll have eyes on us before we get within 5 minutes of the place. Whatever. Just keep in contact for once. Hope you're being generously compensated, Eve. Selling your soul to the mob. It'd be a shame if you didn't at least get a good price. Hey, you coming, Blinkers? Gotta find where they store all the med kits in this dusty old piece of... Go on. I'll be right behind you, Detective. Sorry about that. You're still new to all this, really. Not old like me. She does seem to be on edge, more so than usual. The first time losing a fellow officer. I think she's taken it pretty hard. Maybe even personally. Did they know each other? Oh, right, you gather up all your things. I'll go bring us up a ride. Great. Thanks for all the help, Detective. You're a lifesaver. Though this is one occasion where I wouldn't have had any trouble finding the place. Well, it didn't take you that long to patch him up, huh? We just wait here. All night. That clock runs pretty slow. If you're not doing anything else, Detective, might you be interested in answering some questions? Oh, that's what she does this interview, I think. That's funny. Once more into the depths. When I went down to the lower wards last night, I knew what I wanted to find, but I wasn't sure where to look. Now I know where to look, but I have multiple priorities to consider. It'd be nice if I can prove Sasuke's innocence. It won't be easy, given that they think he killed a cop. But to keep me on the Ikaraya's good side. That'd be nice. But what is essential is that I figure out what the hell happened after I left. And whether anyone found any traces that I was ever there. Everything else is secondary. Sorry, I guess I should have asked before I decided we'd be sharing a cab. I don't mind. I am surprised. Did budget cuts take away your shiny patrol car? Patrol cars are shared, Counselor. Any cop can step into any other cop's car, sync their credentials, and drive. Convenient. Shame you can't personalize. Yeah, no more dice in the mirror. Is that why we're in a cab, then? Personal taste? These cars are full of bugs. Bet you might appreciate the privacy. Auto cabs are full of bugs, too. True, but there are ways around them. Are they? Are there? I didn't know that. Yep, plenty. Can be easy as flashing a police badge. Something you want to discuss in private, Detective? I was asked to get in contact with you and pass along a message. Secret admirer? Certain interested parties and all that. You know how it is? I'm not sure I do. Does this have something to do with my client's business affiliations? There would be a lot more blustering if I were to repeat it verbatim, so I'll paraphrase. Focus on getting the best outcome for your client. More of a reminder of what my job description is and a warning. Don't broaden the scope of your investigation any more than strictly necessary. Well, I always appreciate kind words of advice. For Detective London, that almost makes it sound like you're on the tape. That's a city, Tiger. If you don't take a little, they'll bury you. Alive, need be. Oh, they will. A conspiratorial. Conspiratorial. There we go. It's not a joke, Morgan. Did they threaten your wife with Tommy guns if you don't comply? Huh. Gotten more sophisticated than that. Well, maybe sophisticated isn't the right word. Complicated might be more accurate. You could just call it a quagmire. Or even a shitstorm. If you can't get along to go along, even other cops won't trust you. You'll end up shot in the back, friendly fire, and tragic newspaper clipping. You're exaggerating. You tell me the entire police force is corrupt? Corruption would be one thing. You could, in theory, root it out. But above and below the canopy, it's all intertwined. Every tree is stabilizing every other tree. What do they call that? Not parasitism. Commensalism? There you go. The state pays criminal informants to rat on their peers and let them keep their positions in exchange. Workers by judges and politicians to keep their men out of prison. Status quo. Balancing act. Cycle. Stable as any gyroscope. Forgive me if I find that hard to believe. Crime is at an all-time low. That's not a contradiction. People hate crime. What gets people killed is chaos. And the opposite of organized crime is... So everyone's playing nice with each other? Even Detective Reyes? She's... What about the man they think my client killed? Did he play nice? He was a special case. You got the brief? You recognize his last name? The big city, I don't put too much stock into last names. You'll need to break that habit if you continue to work in the underworld. Sosuke said something similar. Markin Chopin, only son of Miguel and Dominic Chopin. I think we've seen the name Chopin around. I think in some articles it popped up. The power couple? Why would the son of two of our city's most prominent council members be working as a police officer? You want the full story? Always. So who was this Chopin, really? An idealist? Wrong line of work, then. You're only half right. When he entered the academy, everyone assumed it was a political move, first step in his career to becoming a senator or whatever. Maybe it was. Maybe anyone who met the guy could tell you he would have made a lousy politician. You're saying he was honest. Wouldn't tell a lie if his life depended on it. Guy couldn't do small talk, much less make friends. Talking about cleaning up the city, cleaning up the police, cleaning up everything. If he was so unpopular, why was he kept on? No one on the force wanted to risk insulting his parents by firing him. Just got passed around from department to department, detail to detail. He did a lot of community outreach. Community outreach? What, like bake sales? Like giving talks at schools about saying no to drugs until you turn 21. Oof. Must have really loved this job to put up with that. Or he just wanted to prove a point that bad. Don't you try to save lower ward patrols for the more seasoned, better armed officers? I do, yeah. How'd you know that? By going to the lower wards and looking at the cops you send there, of course. I read about it in Watch magazines last month. Oh. If Chopin was the son of such powerful men, why'd he end up in the lower wards last night? That? I don't know. You don't know? By all accounts, he and his partner should have been at least 2 patrols removed from that area. Must have been following up on some other lead. His partner? Who's that? The hero who finally arrested the Hound of Ikaraya, that's who. I'll have to send him a congratulatory fruit basket. Yugi Rogers. Pretty bare bones record, but maybe they'll just add to his legend. What legend? Taking your client alive. Whacked him on the head with his sidearm. Knocked him out cold. It is a small miracle that Sosuke wasn't just shot dead if they thought he killed a cop. Maybe, but it wasn't pure luck. Only thing that did stick out to me in Roger's record was his shooting score. 41. Out of 100. You need 40 to pass. I think someone took pity on him when tallying up his score. So he only whacked Sosuke on the head because he was too bad of a shot to avenge his partner. At least Rogers knows his weaknesses. Oop. Hound. I keep hearing that name, the Hound of Ikaraya. I cringe every time. No one actually calls him that, right? Sorry, but I've definitely heard that name circulating around organized crime before. Must be one hell of a bodyguard to have earned a nickname for it. The bodyguard? Then yeah, it must be pretty good. Of course, hound dogs are known for other things besides guarding, like hunting. Sorry, that was, crude. Oh, don't be sorry. I don't even get enough of the jokes to be offended. Okay, that all makes for some interesting food for thought. Detective London, if you're working for the Blue Bloods... I never said I was working for the Blue Bloods. It's more of a gig worker type thing, Tiger. I'm friends with everyone. If you're working for the mob in general, then... I don't know you're even taking me to the right place or not to. Whoa. I may pass a message along here and there. I'm not... Damn. No one else is. No one else is either. Whatever you're imagining, it's not that exciting, I promise. Not that exciting. Sounds about right. Is it like this in every city? Handshakes and gentlemen agreements behind closed doors? You disillusioned? The state has a great deal of power, Detective London. It makes countless rules. Now, I'm a big girl. I know that those rules don't apply to people equally. I understand the value of criminal informants and the possible conflicts of interest that arise in trying to keep them around. What I don't get is why the state has all this strength. And it won't use it to just wipe the underworld off the map. That's pretty cold logic. I expect my state to be far colder. Have you ever heard this one? A politician, a CEO, and a mob boss are sitting at a round table with a gun in the middle. What are you betting on? What am I betting on? I feel like... and on the CEO. I think. I don't know if there's a right answer to this. Because I feel like any of them would go for the... I'm guessing it's like whoever goes for the gun. The CEO looks at a load of guns, sees the bullets in the clip as inventory that keeps moving. That needs moving. Plus, they're used to taking a job and setting up their golden parachute before anything else. I doubt they'd walk into that room without first planning how they're getting out of it. Fair enough. CEOs only get the job in the first place by convincing their board they can navigate high stakes. But it's a trick question, of course. Rock, paper, scissors has no trump card. Yeah, I felt like there was no, like, wrong answer. That's just the one I felt like I would pick. A politician could bring the heavy arm of the law down upon the mob boss if he doesn't shoot the CEO for him. The mob boss can have the CEO's family killed if he doesn't blow away the politician's purse. And the CEO can turbocharge the campaign of whoever the politician's opponent is if he refuses to miss the mob boss. Yeah, it seems like you can make the argument to go in the other direction too. You could. So the point the riddle's meant to teach is this. Whoever convinces someone else to pull the trigger comes out on top. Funny. So, in the parable you set up, the gun on the table, that's the police. A blameless tool with no will of its own. Yeah. So it was older men than I who set it up. Didn't realize this country's police were so powerless. However, do you manage? We used to have a partner that helped us out, a tiebreaker. Because all three of those powerful men would be screwed if a journalist told the world they were meeting together. Ooh. Yeah, that... Good line. I've got good news for you, Detective. Journalists still exist. I can introduce you to one. You can even take a photograph. Oh, I know they're not extinct. People always write. It's just that no one wants to pay them. No one wants to pay them to. Sorry, didn't mean to talk so much. Maybe it's nerves coming back down here. What happened last time you visited? Nothing up? Didn't put you to sleep, did I? No. Actually, your 3-seat table reminded me of an even older thought experiment. If God is omnipotent, why does he allow the existence of the devil? Even I know that one. Reserve free will. Or whatever, right? Yeah, that's the answer most people give. But now I'm wondering if it isn't a rock, paper, scissors deadlock like the one you just described. God lets the devil be so he'll terrify man, and man will always need God's warm protection. And God needs man's faith, which can't be compelled. Of course, most people would also say that God's long dead in the 21st century. We're still around. So that leaves the devil in an awfully strong position, doesn't it? You always picture 3 men in that room, don't you? Huh? Yeah, I guess I do. Sorry. 50-50 feminist rosaries. Do 55 feminist rosaries for your penance. A little interesting card ride. But I think that's where I'm gonna stop for this part, because that was a lot of talking. I think we're back at the crime scene. I think that is a really good place to stop. So, ow. All right, we got a little bit more on our case. I feel like bringing up the partner was interesting. We have a partner who's a bad shot. I feel like that he's gonna come back up. And the fact that they weren't supposed to be there is also very interesting. We're just gonna have to see who they bring up. I feel like there's a few people. I don't believe that Sosuke did kill the cop. I feel like there's something that we don't know. I say this every time. We won't know until we fully investigate the crime scene after we've left it, so this will definitely be an interesting episode. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye!